Hello there, how are you all doing out there? If you've clicked on this channel by mistake or this video, just click the like and subscribe button because you won't get any more, I doubt it, you never know. Anyway, what we're here to do is to replace the pinion and ring gear with differential. And here we got it there, it's part 7792 and the pinion gear is 7791. So we're just going to quickly do that. First, what we need to do, take the old body off. You gotta love the clipless system, it is amazing. And first we can undo the 2.5mm screws on the sides there. As you'll see, I'm using an electric screwdriver, Von House, very good, I have to say, it's been brilliant. Just have to remember this is an electric screwdriver, not a, I'm not using a cordless drill where you can very easily strip out your screws. This does 3 revolutions per second and a cordless drill does, I don't know, 20 or 30, Anyway, we've got 4 screws here to undo. Off the skid plate. Number 2, here we go. And there's the last one, whip that out. There we go. Now you can just release that. Just remember your wheelie bar is on the outside, so it's sort of hooked on. There we go, get that off. And a good tip while it's upside down is you can check how much shock oil you have, really, which obviously you can't tell, but there you can see that's just a little bit of movement there before I press it, or before I can feel the shock oil. So it's got a little bit missing. That one, no, feels fine. That one again, I can feel a little gap there before you can feel the pressure. Oh, and this one here, well, that's got all that movement, so that'll have to be topped up with a little bit of shock oil. Alright, let's turn him over. And now you have 5 screws to take off the a differential housing cover there. 2 there at the top, 2 there hidden away a little bit, and just the one there to remove. Now what I use, just for this purpose, you don't have to, but I use an old tin just to lift it up a little bit. As you can see, I like doing me recycling. Nice clean tin, label removed, But anyhow, pop that underneath. And right, let's get out these screws. There we go, number 2. There we go. And the 4 screws on the sides there are all the same length, and then this one here is a little bit shorter. So obviously a short one always goes in there, the other 4 pop round there. And the cover will just pull off as easy as that. And to get a differential out, again, it's a great design, and it will just come out as easy as that, he says. There we go. And there you go, there's your differential all ready to get a ring gear off. Alright, the first thing you need to do is take off that drive cup, because that is in the way, because you need to get that. Then you undo the 4 hex bolts there and can remove that. Now this may come off easy, it depends how much Loctite's been used in it. But be very careful when you're holding it. This one doesn't feel too bad, it feels a bit stiff, so there's obviously Loctite on it, but you may need to put some grip around that drive cup just to make sure that it doesn't slip or anything, because some of these edges here can get a little bit sharp, where they've just worn a little bit, so make sure you are careful there. And there we go, that was, yeah, there we go, it's all popped out. Take off the bearing, and let's go back to the electric screwdriver. There we go. To remove these four. I just find electric screwdriver is just, yeah, just saves a bit of time. But when you're doing up your screws, if you're new to it, you just got to remember, when you're doing up these screws, they're going into plastic, and you really do not have to do them tight. It just has to be done up, so it's just, you know, just in as far as it needs to go, and that's it. Because if you just put a little bit more extra pressure on, that puts stress on the threads and can rip them off over time, or you can just strip the threads while trying to put that on. And there we go, you can remove that. Be careful with the differential oil, which you can see that has not got a lot in it. That is a bit low, so luckily we've got some differential oil. And then here's your other gear, and there's your gasket is around there, so I need to get that out as well. And there's the gasket. Won't use a screwdriver. No, there he comes. There we go. So there's my old gear, and you can see all the teeth have gone on that. And to get out the pinion, a little bit of a shake. And normally, because I knew this was already broken, I've already had him apart once just to check before I got the parts. But normally, you know, you need to give it a good clean. Be very careful not to get any bits of metal inside there. So just be very careful, and then wipe it all clean. Make sure you got all the metal out, yeah, and off from around the differential cover. Because the last thing you want is to get, you know, bits of metal left in there. Then when you put the new one in, and then you break it again. Now we've got some differential oil here, which is part number 5136, and that's 30,000 weight differential oil. So we'll just top it up with some of that. Right, got our nice brand new differential oil, and we just got to fill this up, you know. So it's going to need a reasonable amount. Let's see. Might have to cut the hole a little bit bigger actually in this. I didn't cut it very big, but it's better to cut the hole too small, and then you can always make it bigger. But if you cut it too big, of course you can't make it smaller. But it's not too bad. Just keep on filling until you see it's up to the top. It's looking quite good. A little bit more, I reckon. Yeah, that's filling up nicely. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, getting there. It needs quite a bit. There wasn't a lot in there, so it's always worth checking your diffs. But I'm quite surprised there isn't much in that. But there we go. That's all done. Now we get the differential ring gear. A nice new one we've got out here now, all ready to go, nice and clean. Now we can put the gasket on. Make sure you get the holes all lined up. There we go, we've got the gasket in there. And I'm putting back in the gearing there. And now, obviously don't tip up this, keep this nice and level, you don't want all your fluids tipping out. And just sort of line it up. And there you go, you feel it sort of click as well, and it won't move. nice and snug now. Normally I wear gloves, and I wish I had this time, but a quick wipe and that. But it's always a good idea to wear gloves, to be fair. But I didn't know where mine were. Pinion gear, differential pinion gear, that's nice and easy. Obviously, what I did is don't worry about putting a can under it. That was a waste of time, that idea. You don't need to, so forget I said that. But you can just see it just drops in there. And now we put the differential screws back in. Yes. So we get those done. There we go. Like I said, I'll use an electric screwdriver, but make sure I put it on torque setting 1. I mean, it's on the very lowest, so we'll see how it goes first. Yeah, and there we go. You can see how it's going in fine. There you go. Just caught then, but I didn't want to go in quite as far as that. But yeah, there you go. Just started to move, so I don't. Even on torque setting 1, say you know, it still might be a little bit tight, so you do have to be very careful. Let's find the other bolt. There we go. Get that in there. Yeah. And all the bolts should go in nice and smoothly. There we go. I did actually stop that time, but as I said, I'm on torque setting 1, so like then that started slipping, so it should be fine. But go over all 4 of them. You know, like I say, don't do them. You don't force them tight. It is a bolt going into plastic, so you just feel it's tight. You know, don't give it an extra turn. It's not metal on metal, so you've got to be very careful. For now, I'm just going to put the drive cup back in. Normally you can put some thread lock on there, but I'm just going to, there is some still on there, so it's not loose, but we'll just see how it goes for the moment. You know, it could be fine, but I'll check it again, you know, make sure. Yeah, so there we go, that's all done. And of course now I've just realised the mistake I've made. Which was, oh, you can see it, but I forgot to put the bearing back on. Well, we'll double check. It might, yeah, it's not going to go over, but I thought it might just, but no. So right, take the drive cup out again. I thought something didn't look quite right. I thought I heard somebody shouting out who was watching this, hey, you've got the bearing. But never mind. Right, there we go, let's get that back in. Again, that was on torque setting 1, so you know, you don't want to over tighten. I know it's going into metal, but you know, so you can give that a little bit of extra turn just to make sure it's tight. That looks better, and just check it all works. Yeah, and like I said, be careful you don't cut your fingers, because sometimes those cups can get a little bit sharp. But that's that done. Now this is what I use, high performance bearing grease. You can use a Traxxas grease, but that costs you it costs you about £15, and you get 20 grams of it. This cost me about £10, and I get 500 grams. So you know, you do the maths there. At the end of the day, you know, it's incredibly expensive Traxxas grease. I don't know why it's so, you know, it's a ridiculous price, but you know, you don't have to go too mad, because once the grease is on there and it starts spinning, you got to remember it's going to fly off, but there will be, you know, a very thin layer of grease still left on the gearing and that. So you don't want to go too mad. Just, you know, just get it in. There we go. Bit off the edge there, you know, just make sure. Because the more you put on, all it'll end up doing is just, you know, what's not needed will just fly off and then just be inside. So, you know, no point in going too mad. But there we go. There's a differential all greased up. You can only put it in one way. You might be able just to see there's a little bit of plastic that sticks up, so there's no way you can put it in that way round. It has to go in that way. So if you do forget which way it came out, not to worry, because it will only go in the one way. So you get your drive shafts in, partly in, and there we go. Oh, one side not quite in. There we go. Try again. And there we go, perfect. These in there nicely, both drive shafts are in there. And of course just have to put a differential cover back on, which is nice and quick. Remember, don't forget that the shorter screw out, the 5 you took out, goes right in there, right in the middle. And I've still got the torque setting on 1, and I can hear it slipping then, because I know I've done this before, and I can normally put it on torque setting 1.5. But as I said, just be very careful. When you get to know how tight they can be, you know, you can get used to it. But it's always better when you're first out, if you don't know how tight the torque settings will do the screws up, make sure, you know, that you do finish off the, you know, screwing up the bolts by hand, because if you've never taken out one of these bolts before, another thing you can always do them is, you know, brand new, just get your Allen key into a bolt you've never undone, and just give it a quarter of a turn, and then just turn it back again to a quarter of a turn, just to see, and you realise then how you know, they're not actually, you know, tight, you know, they're just done up just enough to hold the two bits of plastic together. I don't know why I'm holding it in the air there, let's just put it in. There we go, that's better. But that's a good way of telling. If you just undo it by hand first and do it back up to the exact same position, you'll realise, oh, is that it? That's, you know, it's not tight at all. And especially the screws that hold in the suspension pins, that sort of thing. You've got to remember, they're not actually doing really anything, they're just stopping that pin from sliding out. So, you know, you don't need it up tight, it's just there to stop the pin from moving out. So, you know, you've got to remember that as well. I think with this, these two to do. There we go. You notice, see, I'm going to give it a good few turns because I only had the torque setting on number 1, so just to be sure. There we go, last one. Again, not too tight, you know, just as I said, tight, just a little bit snug. And then, right, time to get the wheelie bar on, which is nice and easy, of course. Remember, that just sort of hooks on the top there. Those 2 bits on the side. Let's just flip him over. And just put that piece in. Just make sure it's tucked under. And yeah, make sure it feels all nice. And there we go. Let's just put in these little screws, 4 screws. And these, again, they don't have to be tight or anything, just, you know, snug. And that's why, again, because I've got a setting 1 on this screwdriver, I know that is spot on. This, you know, it's okay. If I put a Allen key on those now, probably give it, yeah, I'll just undo it a little bit now. It feels absolutely spot on. But again, it's usually good not to let them do it all the way. And flip them over and put in our last 2 screws. And there it goes. And that, for all you thousands of people that are watching my video right now, is how you change your ring gear and pinion differential gears. I hope that's helped anybody out there who's watching. Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe. It'd make me happy. Even if you don't want to see one of my videos again, why not? Like and subscribe, eh? Take care out there. Have fun. Any questions, just put in the comments below. Cheers for watching. Bye.